So this Dell laptop is around 8 years old at this point, and I tried running Windows 11 on it. And yeah, let's just say it was not a good idea because it performed horribly on this PC. At its best, it was slow, laggy, it was loud, and the whole thing felt like sluggish at best. But after installing Linux, it's a totally different system. It boots faster, runs cooler, and honestly, it feels modern again. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I changed, what I installed, and what it's like to use every single day. This Dell 5491 laptop just felt horribly slow when running Windows 11. Like when you open up the browser, it takes a second. When you click on something, it pauses, thinks about it. And even switching between windows, it feels laggy. And on top of that, I'm not doing anything crazy at all. It's just basic stuff like watching YouTube videos, or checking emails, or browsing the web, or doing some light coding. And this device just performs sluggish on Windows 11 when doing all those things. And what really drives me nuts is that Windows has always running something in the background. It has these weird services that no one really needs running, and they're running in the background, eating up all the system resources. And don't get me even started on Windows Update, because every update just makes the system get worse and worse. And at that point, you start blaming the laptop. You think, maybe the laptop hardware has gone bad. Maybe I should go buy a new laptop. And to be honest, I'm guilty of that myself. I recently went and bought a brand new laptop because of that reason. But until I tried Linux, that totally changed my whole perspective. And that's why I'm here to share this with you. Once I installed Linux, I realized something. That the laptop hardware isn't the bad thing itself. It's the software, or Windows 11 at this point, holding the system back. Now time for a quick pause. And don't worry, this is not a sponsored video, but do hit the like button if you enjoyed this type of video, and drop a comment below to share your thoughts on this video. Now let me first answer, what is Linux? Linux is an operating system just like Windows or a Mac OS. The reason Linux is interesting, especially on an older laptop, is because it's really lightweight and does not use that many system resources. It doesn't come with a bunch of pre-installed junk, or it's not constantly doing stuff in the background. And even if you're running updates on the system, it doesn't slow down over time. So if all you do is browsing the web, watching YouTube videos, checking your email, or doing some light coding work, Linux honestly, hands down, is super great for doing all that on an older device. Basically, it can make an older laptop feel new and modern again. It does work good on new laptops as well, but the focus of this video is running it on older laptops. But with that said, do keep in mind that Linux is not for everyone. There are some challenges which I'll cover later in this video. Alright, so let's install the Linux operating system. The first step is to download it. Unlike Windows or Mac OS, there isn't just one version of Linux. There are many distros, or distributions as they're called. Basically, different flavors of Linux. So the question is, which one is right for you? Now, if you're new to Linux, and to keep everything simple, in this video, we're just going to cover Linux Mint, which is the easiest way to get into Linux. And that's mainly because it's so much familiar like Windows. It runs great on older laptops, and it's basically based on the most popular Linux distro out there, which is Ubuntu. So that's what we're going to use in this video for my install, but feel free to choose anything you want to choose. Install Ubuntu, Fedora, there's Red Hat Linux distributions, whichever one you want to install, that's your call. But in this video, we're going to go with Linux Mint. Next up, let's get ready for the install. And before you do anything, understand this, that installing Linux will wipe your data on your laptop. So make sure you back everything up. That's important, because if you do this and wipe your data, then you won't be able to get it back. All right, let's do the fun part, which is installing Linux Mint. So first thing you should do is go to the Linux Mint website. And don't worry, I'll link everything in the description below. Next up, you want to download the ISO file, which is basically the installation file for Mint. Gotta grab your USB drive so that you could load your Mint Linux onto it. It has to be 8 gigabytes or bigger for this to work. And I used a tool called Rufus to turn the USB into a bootable installer. And don't worry, this is not complicated. It's basically you plug in your USB, you pick the file that you just downloaded, You point the destination, which is your USB drive, and then you press the button and that's it. It's done. Now that the USB is ready, you can plug that into your laptop, power it on, and in my case, since I have a Dell, keep pressing the F12 key for the boot menu to pop up. From there, I just selected my USB drive. At this point, the install is super simple. You just click on the Linux Mint, choose your language, connect to the Wi-Fi, and if it's a fresh setup like mine, just choose erase disk and install. And a few seconds later, the Linux Mint was installed and I was already up and running. And that's it. You just let it do its thing and it'll be installed in a few couple of minutes. And once the install is done, you just gotta reboot and pull out the USB and you're officially running Linux operating system on your laptop. And that's crazy because compared to installing Windows, which feels easy, there are no ads, no Microsoft accounts you gotta deal with, no drama, no nonsense, just simple, clean install. All right, so now it's time to run actual benchmarks. Basically, I did some similar tasks on Windows, and then I did the same thing on Linux just to see if the system is performing any better on Linux, or is it just an illusion? So the first test that I did was boot up the system on both Linux and Windows. And on Windows, it took around 40 seconds for me to boot up from cold start and into Windows. Whereas on Linux, it took half the time. But again, I mean, this is not really a big deal breaker. So the key point here is that Linux is immediately usable, whereas Windows, you have to wait twice as long in some cases, and maybe more in other cases. Next thing I checked was the RAM. So on Windows, I first opened up Chrome, and then I opened around 15 tabs, which is like, some of those were YouTube videos. The other ones were like news articles, other tech sites. And then what I found that Windows at this point was using 9.5 gigabytes of DDR4 memory versus on the Linux, the same activity was only taking 3.5 gigabytes, which is a huge difference, For doing the same exact thing, Linux is taking maybe, 1/3 less the memory than Windows is. That kind of tells me how bloated Windows 11 has become. Next up, I checked were CPU temps and overall, if the device was getting hot or not. For this, I used actual programs that would check the core temperatures of the processor. So for Windows 11, I used a tool called Core Temp, and then in there, the temperature was around 70 degrees Celsius. And that was with the 15 Chrome tabs open just to simulate a real use case. Now, the same thing on Linux was running around 40 degrees centigrade. And then I also noticed that the fan was not kicked on, unlike when I was using Windows 11. The fan would turn on and off just to cool the system down. Next up, I ran an SSD benchmark tool, basically to see how the SSD is performing on both operating systems. On Windows, it was slightly slower, whereas on Linux, it was a lot better. Not by a whole lot, but overall better. And as a result, the Linux operating system felt a lot snappier. There was no lag when I opened stuff up, so everything was, working quite smoothly. And that's just not the SSD, it's the whole system. The memory, the CPU, the SSD are working more efficiently to deliver a better user experience. And finally, I ran the Geekbench tool that benchmarks your system on both Windows and Linux Mint. And then the Geekbench scores were a lot better on Linux than on Windows. Not by a whole lot, but enough to where you could really tell the difference. Now it's the same exact hardware, nothing changed, same memory, same SSD, same CPU, but then the test results really tell the difference that, hey, with this hardware, I can run the system better than Windows 11 can. But yeah, overall, the benchmark results don't say, hey, I'm a brand new laptop, but in fact, Linux is making an older laptop feel faster again. And that is a big difference that, I could tell. Basically, I'm able to run things a lot cooler, smoother, and faster on the Linux operating system than I could on Windows 11. Now, in terms of what device I have the Dell 5491. This is an Intel Core i7 laptop, and it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. You can pick one up on eBay for around $150. Some run for $140, some run for $160. But overall, it's a good, decent, powerful machine for that price. And with Linux, you can, run a whole lot of other things on this machine. Now let's talk about the trade-offs because I'm not going to sit here and act like Linux is magic. It's great, sure, but there are some trade-offs that you should know before you switch to Linux. First one is the applications. Some software that's common on Windows just straight up does not exist on Linux. Or it does exist, but it's a different manufacturer or company. Like for example, you have Microsoft Windows, or as they call it, Office 365 now, which is really isn't here on the Linux operating system. Sure, you can go through the browser and access it through the cloud, but you are limited on features. But what it does have is the LibreOffice, which is basically the free alternative to Office 365. With this version of Office, you could do pretty much everything you could on Microsoft Office 365, but then it's just slightly different and you gotta have some learning time to get used to it. Now, if your life depends on a very specific program like Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, or Windows only work software, then Linux might not be right move for you. You can always find workarounds, but then it's a pain in the ass sometimes, to be honest. Another unpredictable thing is battery life on Linux laptops. On most laptops, it's totally fine, but it can be a little hit or miss on older laptops. Sometimes the battery life is better than Windows, and sometimes it's really worse. It really depends on the make and model. And then there's gaming. For everyday use, Linux is smooth, but if your main goal is to game, Windows still has the upper hand here. Casual games are fine. They have some games ported over to Linux now, but for AAA titles, Linux support isn't all there just yet. Of course, there are ways to make it work, but for a simple plug and play, download and play, it's not going to work. So yeah, there is definitely an adjustment period that you need to get used to when you're using Linux. But if all you want is a laptop that you could use for browsing, watching videos, doing coding, or light work, then Linux is a great alternative. So here's the bottom line. This laptop didn't become good because it's old. It became good because it's no longer running Windows 11 on it. Once Linux Mint is installed, it's fast, quiet, and genuinely usable again, unlike it was before. I can use it for anything that I want. I can even use it as a little home server. For under $150, this setup makes way more sense than buying a cheap new laptop, especially if you already have something like this lying around. Well guys, that's it for this one. If this video helped, drop a comment below and let me know what old hardware you're running. And if you want more real-world Linux or home lab content on this channel, make sure you are subscribed and I'll see you in the next one.